Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sally. This is, gosh, I've made a couple of videos today, but haven't posted them. I think it's time for me to do a little quick wrap up. I had finally got the daughter on the plane, husband back to work. The house is 9/10 done. Um, and I gave myself permission to do nothing today that didn't just pleasure my heart. So basically, I got to dig into the fridge and pull out some vegetables I bought last week and start to make things up. So that gave me a lot of pleasure, getting my food back on track. Food's been fairly on track, but there have been some out of order things. And that whole issue with the scale last week really bothered me. And then I got past that. And then I got on it the other day and it was really back up again. I said, now, wait a minute. So I decided, you know what, I can't control what the scale says, but I can, as I always have done in the past, which I must say led to the success that I experienced coming up on 3 years post-op RNY, gastric bypass, um, is that I process. I am process oriented. So I have to take my head out of a goal number or a number on a scale. Um, and even the clothes, although the clothes are a very passive way to just tell how you're feeling. And all my clothes still fit. So explain that to me, scale. My clothes all still fit. And you're telling me I weigh 140 pounds this morning when my normal weight range is about 133. Anyway, having had company here for the last 3 weeks, running around with her, a little extra, I never drink beer. I mean, but she wanted to go to every pub, so we would go to the pub occasionally and I'd be drinking a beer. Um, and then my wine increased because of the stress level of moving last week. So I had a little increase in the uptake amount of wine. And then this morning, I was catching up on videos that I have not had time to see and watched a lot of wonderful videos from the Back to Basics ladies, especially the ones on transfer addiction. Now, I kind of worry about the whole addiction thing, mostly because my mother was an alcoholic. And I think my grandfather was depressed, and my mother even commented that he was kind of a depressed personality. And then that is basically alcoholism comes out of depression. And having suffered with depression most of my life, um, and I can say no longer since weight loss surgery, no longer since I lost the weight. So obviously, my issues had to do with low self-esteem and feeling unworthy and um, not good enough. And that had to do with being heavy my whole life since early childhood and feeling, what you feel like when you're the little fat girl, and like the only one in the class. So, but this is in the 60s when everybody wasn't obese. Um, so anyway, here I am, first full week in the house. Haven't spent every night here for the last week, but just a few, getting squared away and realizing this morning as I'm catching on videos that this transfer addiction issue is something I really need to look at, and that I need to revisit my processes to make sure, because when I think about giving up, well, anyway, let me back up. There was a particular video, many of them spoke to me, different things in every video spoke to me and called my name. But after the cookie scenario last week, and the wine issue that I'm a little concerned about this week, watching Sherry, Mountain Mama, do a stand-in video for Melanie, Exit Melanie, about what is addiction versus what is habit. And it was really profound for me and very helpful. And so I started to make a list and really mull through and sift through some of that information in light of my own things that I think might be a little out of order. That might be leading to the weight gain. Okay, so one of them was drinking the beer, which I really don't care if I do. The other was drinking a little more wine than I should be drinking, and a few extra mixed drinks over the last 2 months of having been here kind of in vacation mode, and cocktail hour mode. But then when the daughter comes, and then but the stress of the move this last week a little more because I didn't want. So that was what the cookie thing was, and I think that was what the wine thing was. But today, thinking about, can you put that wine bottle down? Can you not have a glass of wine? It's the same kind of palpitations I get when I think about when I used to walk down the brownie mix aisle and the cake mix aisle and the baking aisle early on, and I would have like because I didn't want to be near them, I didn't want them, I certainly never picked any. I would pick them up, I'd put them down, I'd pick them up. I didn't want them in the house, but they were calling my name. Same kind of thing with that wine. So today I determined that I would write everything down. I put a notepad on the refrigerator. I've written everything down I've eaten. Been very clean about what I've eaten. Really getting back to my clean eating. I mean, right now I am jonesing for a couple of big bites of sharp cheese and a small glass of wine. I am seriously jonesing for it. But it's 5:40 here now. Steve's not home. He's on his way. So I'm concentrating on things, substituting behaviors like having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. I mean, I'm doing the best I can to substitute. I remember when I lost weight 1,000 years ago on Weight Watchers, and I'd gotten in the very bad habit of eating a Snickers every day when my child took her nap, watching my soap. That was my treat. Well, what did I have to do to get over the Snickers or the ice cream or the whatever in front of the soap? And this was when I was like 30. I substituted coffee. So I started to have a coffee in the afternoon, that kind of thing. So I have to find some substitution behaviors. I also need to get out there and start walking again. It's been a busy week, so I haven't gotten into my regular routine. I give myself some grace for that. I did walk town and back yesterday. Um, but then I had a big old drink and knocked myself out for the rest of the night. It was not a good idea. So, the alcohol is something that I have to watch and am always mindful of. But especially I'm mindful of the fact that I'd really like to have a glass of wine and a bite of cheese right now because I'm a little hungry and I like that kind of transition happy hour moment of my day. The thing was, it was getting a little earlier and a little earlier and a little earlier, I won't lie. So at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I wanted to have a buzz and then I was done by 5 and ready to just have a regular evening and then go to bed. Um, so I'm really trying to self correct and be very aware. So this is like an accountability video. And that's not to say I'm not going to have a glass of wine because I'm surely going to have some. But I need to make sure I can nip it in the bud. I need to know sure that I'm the person in control of what I'm doing and not that the wine's in control of what I'm doing. So thank you for those videos on cross addictions and transfer addictions or just addictions in general. Very, very helpful to me today. Okay. The other thing I'm excited about, the fact that I've made it through this far today and I've only eaten really healthy foods and not a lot of quantity, is that Robin, my friend Robin, Texas mom, um, uh, y'all know that I'm like a lentil fanatic and a veggie person, and I eat green, clean, and mostly plant-based life, and that I've been doing that since 6 months out. Well, God, no, before 6 months out, I was doing it. But at 6 months out, I felt relieved to say it out loud without a shame because Dr. Garth Davis made a video that I saw that said this was a preferable lifestyle for WLS patients that don't anybody tell you anywhere else. So, or at least good enough. Good as the other. And so I could come out of the closet hiding. I didn't have to feel guilty anymore. So I have wanted to have a Facebook page a place for people that have had WLS specifically, not that other people can't come in, WLS specifically, that really eat a plant-based lifestyle, 90%, 80%, 70%, mostly all, not raw people necessarily, not that we don't eat salad because we can eat raw, but I wanted a place for us to all say, I had WLS of some kind and I like to eat vegetables. Most of the time, and I live my life based around a plant-based diet. Okay. And if you're not a total purist, it's fine because I'm not a total purist, but 97% of what I eat is plant material and fruit, not flowers, and the occasional bread things, which I also have issues with. But anyway, you guys know how I eat. So I'm excited that Robin kicked that off because I said I really, really want to do this, and I just don't have time right now. And so next thing you know, boom, it's up. So if you are sincerely interested in understanding more about really understanding and sharing, regardless of your surgery, look me up on Facebook, and I'll talk to Robin. I mean, I think groups can get too big, but I don't think this kind of a group can get too big because it's really not about weight loss surgery support. It's about sharing of information and excitement and enthusiasm about how to be healthy and how to eat this specifically kind of way, with different resources that we all have different resources. And just because you're vegetarian or quasi-vegetarian, WLS doesn't mean you should eat a plate of pasta and say that's healthy. God knows none of us need to eat a plate of white anything. And yet I'm starting to liberate myself a little bit about the poor old white potato and have a little bite of potato here and there and not feel like it's the end of my life if I've gotten a little I'm not gone all the way to the South Beach or Atkins thing all the time. Um, so, I mean, I think we'll all be on the same page, just trying to do the best we can to make the healthiest choices and feed our bodies to have a full and exciting and exuberant and vivacious life after WLS. So, this is going on too long. I just want to say, hey, check in that I didn't lose it today so far, that I've done okay, and show you this is the dining room. You can't really see it, but anyway, there's that thing I bought, and all my crap is on it, although it's not set up yet. But I wanted to show you something I bought at the boot sale last week. Is this not the cutest little tea cozy you ever saw? And this is my teapot. Not that I ever used it, but this lady knit this. Is this not too stinking cute? I think it's knitting. I'm assuming it's knitting. But she did the little thing on the top. And Connie, I thought of you right away. And gosh, I wish I bought a ton of these because they were only £2. And my daughter came home from one of her trips and did this. And you know what the problem is? I don't have the lady's contact information. I have her name and I looked it up. But anyway, it's not a hat. It's got holes in the side and my ears can't quite do it. But I think it's the cutest stinking tea cozy. And if I knew how to knit, oh my gosh, she had one that had daisies all over the top. So you crafty people that know how to do something that's simple like this, I mean, my goodness, £2. I don't know how she did it so cheap. But anyway, that's it. I'm gonna carry on, and I saw a wonderful thing. Thanks, Chris, my friend Chris on Facebook, and here too, makes awesome videos. Um, she also eats green, mostly plant-based green things, and she put a thing on my page that said, "Keep calm." Um, I can't remember. It was something like that keep calm and carry on thing that I have on everything. I must have a mug of every kind that says that now. Keep calm and keep shopping. Keep calm and buy shoes. Keep calm and have a cuppa. Keep calm and have a cup of coffee. Keep calm and carry on. The whole thing. Um, and she said it's keep calm and eat plant strong, or that kind of a thing. And I just really appreciate it. I know that's not what it said, but that was the kind of thing it said right there. So anyway, gotta go. I'm going to be catching up with everybody soon. Feeling good now that I made it through this day, and have done a lot of self-reflection, and I'm gearing up to do my 3-year video, because you know what, I'll be 3 years out here very, very soon, and I've written a couple of pages of things I want to discuss and kind of share and reflect back on where I'm at, where I'm going, where do I see myself in a year, how do I think I've succeeded in the last 2 years in maintenance, um, at least the last year, and kind of the seasons that you go through after weight loss surgery. So anyway, you guys take care. Love you. See you soon. Bye.